Lions news fan Reperthov, you ever wondered what it would be like to have two of the most feared pass rushers in the NFL, working side by side, wreaking havoc on every quarterback they face? Imagine the chaos for any offensive line forced to deal with not one, but two elite defensive players, each with the ability to disrupt plays and break through protection schemes. It sounds like a dream scenario for any football team. And for the Detroit Lions, it might not be as far-fetched as it seems. During the 2024 regular season, the Detroit Lions were undeniably one of the most impressive teams in the NFL. With a stellar record of 15 wins and just 2 losses, the Lions secured the top seed in the NFC playoffs, sending a powerful message across the league that they were ready to make a deep playoff run and possibly even compete for a Super Bowl. Their defense, led by the ferocious Hutchinson, had been a dominant force throughout the year, capable of pressuring quarterbacks and causing chaos in the backfield. The team's success was built on a solid foundation, and as they headed into the playoffs, it seemed like they had everything in place for a potential championship run. But as is often the case in the NFL, things rarely go as planned. Just as the Lions were gearing up for their playoff push, they were hit with a devastating blow. Hutchinson, their star defensive player and one of the best edge rushers in the league, suffered an injury that would keep him out of the postseason. The loss of Hutchinson was a significant setback. Not only was he the heart and soul of their defense, but he was also the player who had the ability to completely change the outcome of a game with his relentless pass rushing skills. Without him, the Lions' defense struggled to maintain the same level of dominance, and despite their impressive regular season, they were eliminated in the divisional round. Fast forward to today, and Hutchinson is healthy and ready to prove that he's back to his elite form. But now, the Lions might be in a position to add another pass rusher, one who could take their defense to another level. Enter Myles Garrett, the Cleveland Browns' standout pass rusher, who has been one of the most consistent and dominant defensive players in the league for years, recently made headlines when he requested a trade from the Browns. This news sent shockwaves through the NFL, as Garrett is considered one of the best pass rushers in the game, and has been a cornerstone of Cleveland's defense since entering the league. With multiple All-Pro selections and 7 seasons of 10 or more sacks, Garrett's track record speaks for itself. However, despite his individual brilliance, Garrett has been frustrated by the lack of team success in Cleveland. Over his career, he's only been to the playoffs twice, and he's never had a true shot at a Super Bowl. For a player of Garrett's caliber, that's simply not enough. He wants more. He wants to play for a team that can contend for championships. And it appears that the Detroit Lions might be just the place he's looking for. Garrett's trade request has sparked a whirlwind of speculation across the league. The idea of him joining a playoff contending team has many NFL fans and analysts excited, and the prospect of him teaming up with Hutchinson to form one of the most fearsome defensive duos in the league is enough to make any opponent nervous. Hutchinson, for his part, has already expressed his excitement about the idea of playing alongside Garrett. In a recent appearance on the Lautner's podcast, Hutchinson spoke about his conversation with Garrett and how the two defensive stars discussed the possibility of joining forces in Detroit. Hutchinson's words were filled with enthusiasm, and it's clear that he's genuinely excited about the potential partnership. "We were just talking about what it could be," Hutchinson said, "and while I know it's probably unlikely, I'd be really pumped to play alongside him if it happens. Our defensive line would be completely elevated. It would be a scary defensive line, and we get along really well. I remember when I got hurt, he reached out to me. It was just a cool thing to do. Having someone from another team reach out to you like that. So I think he's a good guy. If he does come here, great, but I don't know. We'll see. But that would be amazing." Hutchinson's words carry weight, as he has become the leader of the Lions' defense. For him to be so excited about the possibility of playing alongside Garrett speaks volumes about the respect he has for the Browns' star. And beyond just the football aspect, the fact that Garrett reached out to Hutchinson during his injury shows the kind of character Garrett possesses. This isn't just about football, it's about respect, camaraderie, and the desire to compete at the highest level. However, while Hutchinson is clearly excited about the possibility of Garrett joining the team, the reality of making that happen is much more complicated. The Cleveland Browns are not eager to part ways with one of their most valuable players. Garrett is a cornerstone of their defense, and trading him would require the Browns to receive an offer they simply cannot refuse. The Lions will have to put together a package of players and draft picks that entices Cleveland enough to let go of their star pass rusher. But if the Lions can pull off the deal, the addition of Garrett to a defensive line already featuring Hutchinson would completely change the dynamic of their defense. Imagine for a moment what it would be like to have Garrett and Hutchinson working together. The two players would form a pass-rushing duo that could be the most dominant in the NFL. For opposing offensive lines, preparing to face both of them would be a nightmare. with Garrett's speed, power, and relentless pursuit of the quarterback. Combined with Hutchinson's technique and finesse, no quarterback would be safe. It's easy to see how this pairing could strike fear into the hearts of NFL quarterbacks, and the Lions' defense would become one of the most feared in the entire league. Beyond the physical attributes of the players, the chemistry between Garrett and Hutchinson could also play a crucial role in the success of this defensive line. Hutchinson has already expressed how much he values the connection they have, both on and off the field. Having that kind of mutual respect and camaraderie is essential when it comes to building a successful defense. And if Garrett were to join the Lions, it could lead to a perfect storm of talent, chemistry, and determination. Still, the question remains, will the Browns be willing to trade Garrett? While they may not be actively looking to part with their star pass rusher, the right offer could convince them to pull the trigger. If the Lions are able to make a compelling trade offer, there's a real possibility that we could see one of the most feared defensive duos in NFL history come together in Detroit. But what would it mean for the Lions if Garrett were to join them? First and foremost, it would completely transform their defense. With Hutchinson and Garrett lining up together, the Lions would have one of the most dangerous pass rushing units in the league. The pressure they would put on opposing quarterbacks would be unparalleled, and the entire NFC North and the rest of the league would have to adjust their game plans accordingly. This isn't just about adding another star to the roster. It's about creating a defensive powerhouse that could take the Lions to new heights. Imagine the kind of impact that Garrett and Hutchinson could have on the overall success of the team. They would not only elevate the defensive line, but also inspire the entire team to play at a higher level. For the first time in decades, the Detroit Lions could have the kind of defense that could carry them to the Super Bowl. As for Garrett, joining the Lions would give him the chance to achieve something he's always wanted, a shot at a championship. After years of individual success but little team success, this could be his opportunity to prove that he can win at the highest level. And for Lions fans, the idea of adding a player of Garrett's caliber to an already promising team is enough to get excited about the future. So, what does the future hold for the Detroit Lions and Myles Garrett? If the Lions can pull off this trade, it would be a game changer for the franchise. But for now, we can only wait and see if this dream pairing will become a reality. And if you're just as excited as we are about the possibilities for the Lions' future, make sure to follow Lions News Fan Report for all the latest updates on the team and everything happening in the NFL. You won't want to miss what's next.